Ever wondered why Santa Claus lives at the North Pole of all places? Well, the answer might reside in a small urban park that was once a graveyard in Hamilton, Ohio. You'll find there the Hollow Earth Monument, perhaps the most unusual tombstone ever raised in the United States. It is certainly among the very few memorials erected to celebrate an amazingly crackpot geographical theory. Hamilton's Hollow Earth Monument marks the gravesite of Captain John Cleves Sims. He believed that the Earth was hollow and that we could gain entrance to the interior of our planet through huge holes that pierced the North and South Pole. Sims believed the climate at the poles was balmy and temperate once travelers got beyond a protective ring of ice and snow, an ideal hiding place for Santa Claus. If Sims's name sounds familiar, it's because he's the nephew and namesake of the same John Cleves Sims who helped create Cincinnati. The younger Sims earned fame as a hero during the War of 1812, spent the rest of his life and his reputation propounding his crackpot theory. Sims developed his hollow earth theory while living in Newport, Kentucky, and sent pamphlets to every potential donor in the United States and Europe. He hoped to gather enough money to mount an expedition to the North Pole. United States President John Quincy Adams was reportedly on the verge of awarding federal funding to the Sims expedition when he was voted out of office. Sims died with his vision unfulfilled. Sims's son, America's Vespucci Sims, took up the torch and published a book to popularize his late father's hollow earth ideas. America's claimed an 1871 expedition led by Cincinnati and Charles Francis Hall had verified his father's theories, even though that voyage turned around far short of the North Pole. Another Cincinnatian, John Uri Lloyd, was inspired to write an early fantasy novel titled Editorfa, that's Aphrodite spelled backwards, based in part on the hollow earth theory. Sims' theory also inspired Jules Verne to compose his novel, A Journey to the Center of the Earth. Alas, Americus too died before anyone traveled far enough north or south to prove or disprove John Cleves Sims's theory. Americus erected the Hollow Earth Monument over his father's grave in 1840, and it has attracted curious visitors ever since. And right now I want to welcome our good buddy Greg Hand back. He's been digging deep on this story. Greg, good to see you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Greg, so tell us, how did this monument end up in the middle of a park?
The park used to be the family graveyard for the family that included the Simses. And so when the city took over the graveyard and turned it into a park, just to make sure that the deed was giving them permission, they kept one grave so that the park is simultaneously still a graveyard.
Did people really take this hollow earth theory seriously?
Some people did. Some people did. The general response to all this is you see a lot of newspapers, even while Sims was still alive, talking about his crackpot theories. But there were people who were signing up for expeditions to go to the North Pole or the South Pole, trying to find this new land with the idea that that we could colonize it, just like we had done with the North American continent. So some people did take it very seriously.
So where did Sims get his notion in the first place that the Earth was hollow?
Now this is really interesting. When people talk about the flat Earth, they say, well, just look at the other planets, and none of them are flat. But Sims got his idea by looking at the planet Saturn, and he claimed that the rings of Saturn showed that there was an inherent tendency of planets to have these concentric circles, and that the Earth must have its concentric circles inside the planet, even though you couldn't see these on any of the other planets in the solar system. But that's where he got the idea from astronomy.
Well, Greg, as always, thank you so much for bringing us this curiosity.
And stay away from the lost worlds there.